Hi everybody, welcome to Erotic Renaissance TV. I am your Linguist of Love, and today we're going to be talking about compersion and jealousy with Alex and Russ. But first, I have to share something. We are not the experts.
Sex isn't intimacy. Sex is pleasurable and becomes more pleasurable when you have intimacy. Not sold? Let's rethink love, relationships, and sex. Let me seduce you. You are listening to the Linguist of Love. Welcome to the Erotic Renaissance.
Today I have two of my really close friends here, and we are talking about jealousy and compersion. So today we have my best friend Alex. You've seen her in some of my other videos, or if you follow me or my audio podcast, you will have heard her voice.
Hello, hello, hello.
And this is her partner Russ.
Pleasure to meet.
Why don't we start with a little game? I am going to give you, you're not allowed to speak to each other during this part, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I tell you what's happening, who wants to go first?
Me.
Oh.
Okay. So on that post-it note, I want you to use 3 words to describe your relationship together. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, little lady. I'll put you right over my knee. So that's hot.
Don't tempt me.
I know, that would make you do it.
I know.
Okay. What I'd also like you to do is to take that post-it note off. Don't let us see that. Here you go. 3 words to describe your relationship together. Okay. Share one of your words.
Just to beat you to the punch. Communicative.
Oh,
Communicative. Oh.
thank you. Thank you for that. I feel like that makes sense. I was using a phrase that we use a lot of times, but would you like to hear my word?
Yeah, now you give a word.
A word. There's so many things, but honestly, silly is my word. And because I think the childlike splendor, the unadulterated joy, and just being able to be goofy and silly with you, along with our communication, is wonderful. The juxtaposition is really something that I think is important and I value very much.
Well, that we can both be silly.
Mm-hmm.
And we like to call it FES.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fun, easy, sexy, silly.
Fun, easy, sexy, silly.
It's really all of those things, all in tangent, that makes it so great.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need one all the time, but to have all of those things together, it's very special.
Yeah. Well, and to be able to also have the sexy be not the predominant part, because a lot of times in relationships we prioritize our sex, like our intimacy, and what we have already been discovering, but what so many people are discovering is intimacy is a spectrum, and so sexy is important, but also sexy can be silly. It can be the nuances of your relationship and whatever makes it sexy and or silly. So.
Just to highlight the very first word that you said, fun, right? I think we often forget that relationships should be fun. The main catalyst is fun, because yes, we originally think of love, but love to me is like the foundation that you need, right? Like you can't have fun with somebody that you don't love. If the relationship isn't fun, then maybe there's something pointing to an underlying issue that needs to be talked about.
You can have fun with someone you don't love, but to me, fun helps build the foundation of a solid, loving relationship. By being able to have that fun and be silly and just kind of, for us, ourselves, allows us the vulnerability to be free and ourselves, which to me makes the love that much easier. Where if you just had love before, I know people who love each other who don't always have as much fun, and every relationship is different. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying that for me, having the fun makes the relationship bloom into love that much easier.
Absolutely.
And it's not, mutually exclusive. I'm just saying that in my experience, I've really enjoyed the fun aspect of it, especially as a foundation.
Let me get your second words.
Why don't you go first this time? You know what that sounds like.
I
know what that sounds like.
Easy.
If you don't already know Alex well enough, Alex is similar to me in the sense that we're both very erotically charged. So it's like growth for you to not put sexy as like the very first word, right?
Yes.
Because naturally we're people who enjoy the sexual eroticism and romance that comes with relationships.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing the growth within the elements that I used.
And Russ, what are your other words?
Understanding.
You did such good words.
And I know it's vague, and I guess I could use other words, but beautiful. You could think of adaptable, flexible, but it all goes along with understanding, where it's not some end-all be-all thing that I thought it used to be when I was younger, that I hit this plateau and then now I'm at this relational pinnacle that don't need to do it. No, it's like a hedge garden. It takes so much maintenance. But this is an area that I enjoy what I do. And that's why I say adaptable, because we both are.
So before we get into everything that we will be talking about today, I want to know from you, how long have you been in a partnership?
It's been about 2.5 years.
Yep.
And I don't know if you want to hear this, but she got me at Compersion on our first date. Because I have a master's in communication. I know a whole bunch of words. I actually pride myself on that. Not only have I never heard of it, but again, someone who knows words, this is groundbreaking to me, because this gives everybody a lens to view the world in this way. I always felt this way in different aspects, but I never knew what that was. I feel like most people feel that way almost every day and don't think of it in those terms.
We are talking about jealousy and compersion today. It's not even in the dictionary yet, right?
Not yet. Not yet.
So there is no definition for this word. This segment of Erotic Renaissance TV is we are not the experts. So we're going to be figuring out these words together. And I have picked both of you to do this work with me because of our friendship, our work together, of course. Alex is also polyamorous. And through our friendship, I have found that polyamorous relationships are a really nice way of moving through life. So We Are Not the Experts is a segment where we are not the experts.
We are not the experts.
And we are co-creating meaning together. So, what is your definition of jealousy? Who wants to go first?
Mine might be a little bit different, I will be honest. For me, in my perspective, a level of possession that can be reflected on. And I know that's a really vague terminology for it, but I think that jealousy a lot of times is, well, a level of possession that should be reflected on.
A level of possession that should be reflected on. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're just leaving that to be unpacked. That wasn't even a definition. That was a baggage that you're just like, hey, we'll have a conversation with this.
Well, it's planting seeds.
It'll be a good conversation, I have no doubt. But for me, the emotion one feels when they feel they're losing something or someone to somebody else.
I love the specificity of that. That was really nice.
It's because, the emotion doesn't have to be necessarily bad or good. I mean, generally we think of it as bad, but I feel like it's more when you're losing somebody else And that's why I think like envy is more when you want something that somebody else has. Jealousy is when you're losing something that you perceive that you have, or you're going to perceive you're going to lose. To me, that's jealousy. And generally it has to do with a person, but it could be a toy, or it could be something material or something whatever. But generally speaking, you think of it as a partnership.
Right. And as we go into this topic further in the subsequent videos that we'll make, we'll talk about the difference between jealousy and compersion in romantic relationships and in non-romantic, which with the book that you guys want to create, it's something that can really help a lot of grade school children just have better friendships and better relationships.
Everybody to have better relationships. Yeah.
But to start from a young age feels always like such an important beginning point.
Yeah.
You know?
We all learned the golden rule. Why can't we learn this?
Yeah. I love that we all went different places with our definitions.
Like, I'm so curious to hear yours. Honestly.
I put that jealousy is an emotion that signals a want, need, or desire. I'm tried in my definition to take out the negativity with jealousy, which is also why I liked that you used perception, that you're going to lose something to someone else, because you won't necessarily.
That is a great definition. That need, want, desire, to me is like a really good indicator of, at least in my experience, my own insecurities. I felt jealous because I felt I didn't deserve it, I felt lesser than, or that I could lose this at a moment because I really wanted this, but I felt insecure that this is out of my league, I can never do this. For me, that's where a lot of it, at least the romantic jealousy, came from.
I'm going to add some words from what you said as well, and then I want to hear your definition again, just to kind of like put some pieces on the same piece of paper. You had said something, a possession that needs to be reflected upon. Is that what you said?
Yes. Because I find with jealousy, there's a lot of times to where there's a possessive aspect. Jealousy versus envy. Envy is something that you want to possess, but you don't have. Jealousy, a lot of times, is you are fearful of somebody taking away what you have. And I think it's really important to be able to decipher the two, and compersion comes a lot with that, to be able to give potentially a just different perspective of it all, and to be able to offer something more kind and joyful. But jealousy is a really important emotion, and I think a lot of times people shame jealousy.
Yes.
Oh, you shouldn't feel this way, or oh, jealousy is bad. Jealousy is a human emotion that everybody feels at any time of day and or with romantic partnerships. For me personally, I've predominantly felt jealousy through professional relationships.
Yes. I want you now to hear the definition that comes from, I think it's Merriam-Webster. Oh, it's Oxford. It's Oxford.
Oh, well, you know it's a good then.
Yeah.
Yes. It comes from medieval Latin, zelosas. So the word that it transformed into, Old French is gelos, and English zealous. Because and it makes sense, because if you think about it, if you really want something and you're zealous after it, right, then you feel like this is the thing that I must possess, and you'll be jealous if somebody stops you from getting it. Just like interesting. Here's the actual definition: feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages. I'm going to read it again. Feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages.
May I touch a note
Go ahead.
on that? I really appreciate that through that definition that they have nothing about partnership, because I find, unfortunately, with partnership, jealousy is a predominant, like it is a term that's used I don't want to say too often, because again, it's a human emotion. It's something that we should check in with ourselves for. But I also love that the definition of jealousy has nothing to do with partnership. It actually makes me feel comforted within that.
The one thing though that it doesn't mention that I think it misses because it talks about achievement and everything. And to me, that's envy. The jealousy is something that you don't have or that you want to have. And again, has nothing to do with partnerships, but that feeling of losing something, they don't mention that at all. And I think to me, the opposite of jealousy is security. Jealousy to me is possessiveness. And you mentioned that kind of in your definition. But yeah, to me, jealousy is that clinging on to something that you have that you feel like you're going to lose. That's jealousy. Envy is coveting something you don't have. And I feel like that's a mix of those two. But hey,
I want to give you
that's
the,
Oxford.
It's interesting.
I want to
that
give
they
you the
put that.
definition of envy too.
Oh.
A feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck.
I feel like that definition was not so much more accurate, but really
It is more accurate to me.
It tickled the lines of watching someone else possess
Something that you
don't
want.
have.
Or covet that, like, you want this. To me, that's more jealousy.
Yeah. No,
And-
that I appreciate. And
But
But I also understand that people use envy and jealousy interchangeably
yeah.
yes,
a lot of times. And for a lot of times in regular speech, that's fine. But like with what we're talking about, jealousy to me is more of that aspect where it is that covetousness, the possessiveness, the wanting to have something you don't.
I think like for the sake of today's episode, we can use them interchangeably for now.
Yeah.
Until we tackle maybe parsing through looking at the two words. That to me is like a whole other episode. To me, to enjoy intimacy and to enjoy relationships, you must really be able to regulate your own nervous system when it comes to jealousy and envy. So I want to now take us into a conversation about examples of jealousy. Do both of you have an example?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, and it is allowed, we're each going to pick an example. It can be non-romantic or romantic.
With our group of friends too, one thing that I thought was so amazing, just quickly, they said like a compliment for me that you are the most compersive person that we've ever met. And I felt seen and heard at that time just because I never really known jealousy in the context to which the societal norms have given us. We give a lot of jealousy through romantic partnerships, but we know jealousy, but we don't know compersion. We don't have that definition of a word to be happy for somebody else, to have that empathetic joy. And so originally having partnerships, and people would ask me, the girls in the yard.
Like, so she's giving an example of people expecting you to feel jealous.
Yes.
Right? So give us like age range.
Junior high, high school, any aspect to where people start to have their own individual feelings.
They're especially like they're starting to figure out who they are and who other
Yeah.
people are. So it's like about identity during that time.
It's about identity, but I also find too with that comes into possession of, oh, I have a crush on this person, or oh, he's your boyfriend or he's your girlfriend. And I think it's wonderful to be jovial, to be excited, but I also find that it's so important to be able to have the example of compersion versus jealousy, because I didn't have jealousy through partnerships. My personal experience of jealousy was through aspects of scholarship, of someone getting a scholarship that I didn't have, someone getting a promotion that I didn't have, that I wasn't able to acquire at that time. I really respect that person, my colleague, my peer, I love and respect that they had that at the time that they were supposed to. And I also love being able to have compersion at that time, but like that was my biggest point of jealousy, was not through romantic partnerships at all. It was through my own identity and not feeling good enough in that way, because I think that's a lot of times what jealousy is sometimes is not feeling
Right.
good enough.
To come back to our conglomerate of definition, right?
Yeah.
An emotion that signals something that you want, need, desire, and a feeling of fear that you'll lose it to somebody else. So if you're talking about like seeing a friend of yours in grade school get some award, can you recall like a certain award or achievement or something? You said scholarship?
I said scholarship. I've had experiences to where, like, with business aspects of someone getting a promotion to where I've worked my bones, blood, sweat, and tears for that. And somebody else got the promotion that I felt wasn't as, I wouldn't even say deserving, but like
That you put energy towards.
I worked so hard for this. But yeah, that's truly like the time that I felt jealousy, honestly. But I also realized later on, having the definition of compersion gave me a little bit of comfort and leeway because it didn't dissipate.
I know.
Didn't take away my jealousy, but it also made me feel a little bit more comforted of like, you know, that wasn't meant to be my time.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have gotten what I thought I was going to get out of this particular thing, but it's showing me that I desire something like that. I desire the thing like that that is for me.
Yes.
So if I stop clutching on to this thing that somebody else is getting, then it leaves my hands open to receive the thing that I am actually meant to receive.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are the linguist.
You're so cute.
I was like,
I'm your linguist of love. Is yours academic by any chance?
No.
Okay, and then I'm going to go next because I want to add on to what you're saying.
please.
So when I was in 4th grade, I went to a very expensive private school. My parents worked 3 jobs and my grandparents donated so that I could go to this like fancy, really remarkable school. Actually, I really did like them. They were great.
Hey, they made you who you are.
Yeah, they're a large part of who I am today. And they had this huge comprehensive project. You probably did it. The California History Project.
Yes.
In 4th grade. So one of the things that happened is all of the other kids had a lot of money for resources, right? Like to get it laminated, to put the stickers that match the themes of all of like the railroads and stuff like that. So at the end, you make this huge project and you put them up in the classroom and the teacher grades all of them. And I think the grades are literally on display. And you go around and you look at everybody's projects. And this is after we've gone to so many field trips. I've spent a whole year accumulating whatever I can. Remember, I'm in 4th grade with parents that cannot help me. They do not have the skills and resources to help me because we were on the poor side of the population that went to that school. My money went to having to buy the special collared shirts, you know. It couldn't afford the stickers that match the railroad theme. So I get my grade back, and it's one of the lowest grades I ever got on something. It was like a C or a C minus. And I was in 4th grade, and I loved school so much. And I had worked so hard to do this, and I had just gotten whatever free things I could get. I used whatever stickers I already had because my parents couldn't buy me stickers, right? So it looked like a 4th grader made it, and I got a C minus. And I go to see all of the other kids' projects, and they had like dyed paper that like looked aged and burned corners of things.
They didn't make that.
Yeah.
Like a 4th grader didn't do that.
The parents made that. Yeah.
Right. So in that moment, right, I felt first really sad for myself because I knew, right, my highest self knew, wow, I put all my energy into this. I didn't have any help from anybody, and I didn't get the thing that I feel like I deserve. Me now, in hindsight, looks at that. What was I actually jealous of? I was jealous of my friends who had parents who had time, energy, and resources to help them. Because if I had those things, I could have gotten the score that I felt I deserved, right? But I didn't have access to that. However, it showed me that that's the thing that I aspire to have, right? I aspire to be a parent who has time, energy, and resources that I can give to my child so that they can do a good project and it will reflect the energy that they put into it. It points to just not having equal access to things. You know, if there was a teacher that could have helped me do those things, right? Like a TA assistant, it just shows that there's like a gap between like what all of your students as a population have access to and what those that don't. Thank you for listening to that long example of jealousy.
Honestly, thank you for sharing that, because I do find it's the gap, and people don't talk about the gap too. It's like, oh, the as a visual, clear example that a lot of people can understand, of like the kids who had the parents that helped you work on things, and or the finances to be able to
buy
give
the stickers.
Yeah, and then it's like, no, this is from an actual fourth grader. It's like, I can understand the jealousy aspect and like that heart hurt.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I'm sorry that you went through that.
Oh, me now is like, now I'm glad that I have that as a story, right? Because I've never analyzed that memory before, but now that I have in this moment, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I see what I wanted and desired. And it's the one thing that like most of my life and what I do now is all about relationships for that reason, right? Because my parents were often fighting over money because they didn't have the money to pay stuff, right? A lot of times they didn't want me to spend time at friends' houses because they had much different lives than we had. And then I would be jealous of my friends.
You would see things that you didn't have potentially. Yeah.
And get more upset, I think. Yeah. So that was a non-romantic jealousy example. Is yours romantic?
I suppose. I was feeling jealous because I felt like I was losing something. One thing I've been working on is to reflect before you react. I feel like jealousy is a good indicator to like take stock on how you emotionally feel. Almost like pain. And if you feel this, for me, it's like a time of, okay, why do I feel that? Okay, well, why do you feel that? And the more I've been doing it, instead of it being just like, I'm jealous because like someone's gonna take something, it's like, no, I realize that I'm jealous because I feel like I'm gonna lose something because I feel like I don't deserve that thing, or that it's out of my league, or it's better than me. And I'm just living the limelight right now, being lucky enough to have the privilege of their presence. And so a lot of times when the jealousy comes, it's more nothing to do with anybody else but me. And so I've been thinking of it a lot more in that way. And being in a polyamorous relationship, like it comes up with everybody because it's just a regular human emotion. But instead of directing my scorn outward, I think of it inwardly and what that really means for me. And the more I've thought about it that way, the more I've been able to release it, get rid of it faster. And it's still going to come up. I'm not going to say that it never happens. Of course it's going to fucking happen.
Of course.
Sorry. We're going to do it.
Like we said, jealousy is a normal human emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's normal. It's going to happen in any type of friendship, partnership, familial. We all will feel jealousy. It is normalized. That is normalized. Compersion should be normalized. Just saying. And not should. I'm not going to shoulda, woulda, coulda anybody. But I look forward to compersion being more normalized.
But really, jealousy to me is just an indicator to me that I have some sort of insecurity that is what's giving me that negative emotion. It comes off as jealousy, and it is, but I used to think of jealousy as being caused by somebody externally, and now I realize it's something internally. So when I feel those emotions, I have to, reflect before I react and think about why. And when I keep doing that, it has nothing to do with the person I'm jealous about. It has everything to do with me and my feelings of insecurity or whatever it happened to be. But I like to look at it that way because I can give you a bunch of examples of individual jealousy acts, but I realize now for me that this is where it's really coming from, and I'm excited that I actually have this frame of reference. So I can actually do something about it instead of just getting upset.
Yeah.
And we'll spend time in a future video as well talking about how to navigate towards compersion. But in order to get there, we want to talk about the spectrum of jealousy and compersion. I'm somebody that is really interested in emotions and really studying emotions and the languages that we use to talk about our emotions. So I tend to see emotions on a spectrum, and I think of almost like a big colorful umbrella where the colors crisscross. Right now we're just going to deal with having and not having. So the words that we can use are lack to having, right? Just having a secure feeling of like I have the thing that I want, or fulfilled. I have this wish or this desire has been fulfilled.
Thank you for giving the spectrum too, because it really is a spectrum of jealousy and compersion. And sometimes people say that jealousy is the opposite of compersion. And I don't think that's entirely true, except for when you want to give the visual aspect. Because when you put it into perspective, it is just how you were saying, the kind of like diagram. It's like in the middle is like benevolence, you know, or ambivalence. It's like in the middle it's, okay, yeah, I could, yeah, okay, like it's intellectual compersion, kind of almost of kind of being in the middle, but I don't think compersion is the opposite of jealousy, but I understand how people like Jolie Hamilton, like there's been many different people who have had
Marie
that.
Torin.
For those of us who are not familiar with this person, is this an expert in this topic?
Yes, Jolie Hamilton, Marie Torin, Jessica Fern, a bunch of researchers who have been looking into compersion and jealousy. Especially Jolie Hamilton has been doing more of the jealousy aspect, but there's a lot of new things coming out, because I found out about this word, I don't know, 3 years ago maybe. Marie Torin, sorry. Her study like 2018, 2019, a big comprehensive study about compersion, obviously discusses jealousy and things like that. And so just to have people looking at it from different aspects, I think is really interesting, and especially with the lens of compersion, I feel like it makes it more holistic and not just you feel this, you're bad. It's like, no, like we're looking at this as being an emotion that everybody feels. And I liked your analogy of, you know, the different levels of it. I always like to think of it as a soundboard, where you have 1,000 different levels that move up and down throughout the song. And so over time that shifts. And so it's not about having all the levels pumped up to 11 all the time. It's how you are in that moment that I think is healthier to look at.
I am really interested to maybe play with visualizations in the future, because I think to have a visual representation of emotions is not something that has been explored enough, because I think for it really you need a 3D model, but you know, I don't have the resources for that, which is another good reason why you should subscribe, share things, comment on things, and donate to things that you want to see more of, right? So if you like the work that we're doing here, you can support me in a myriad of ways. You can find them on my website, linguistoflove.com. We're going to be starting a Patreon page as well, where you can see more of the conversation that we have and more of the kinky stuff that maybe we can't publish on YouTube. But I want to talk about the spectrum just for the sake of where we are right now in this conversation. Can I go grab something?
Please.
Be right back. 1. There. Editing magic.
That's magical enough. Okay, that's magical enough.
Editing magic for you. All right, so this is our spectrum just for the time being. So a feeling of secure, what does that feel like to you, and what do you feel like it signals?
In the context of jealousy, to me, you know, again, security is the opposite of jealousy. And so for me to be secure and have this, it's not that I feel any different about somebody else or what's making me jealous. The difference is I feel comfortable or secure with myself. And I feel like having that personal security allows you to have security in everything else. And to me, that's why it's the opposite of jealousy. When you are discomfortable with yourself, it's not necessarily like you don't need anyone else. We all need other people, but it's more just being okay with being by yourself or not having that thing you think you want in that moment. So the security to me is just being secure and comfortable with who I am and what I really need or want as far as jealousy goes.
Okay. So I'm hearing I feel safe. I love who I am. I have the things I want and need. That's security. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the side of lack. To me, that feels like an emptiness in some way. So it feels like my stomach is the thing that I feel when I feel like I don't have something. So when I'm talking about this, I'm going to talk in relation of stripping because I'm a stripper, right? I go into the strip club hoping to make some money so I can pay rent, so I can pay for things in my life, right? I don't always go to the strip club because I'm lacking, right? But I usually have space to fill in my pocket, right? So sometimes lack to me is also a spectrum, right? Because it's not like I'm lacking everything. I have many things. But in this particular moment, I may be lacking X, Y, or Z. So it's an emptiness of some kind where I'm looking to fill. Something is empty and I'm looking to fill it. Does anybody think differently?
No, I
Or want to add?
I loved your description of it, especially to like have kind of like a void of sorts that wants to be filled, whether like you and or anybody knew that void. You know, it's an interesting perspective to have something filled that you didn't know needed to be too. And I think that about like healing too, which is a totally different topic, but sometimes, you know, you've been working on the thing and it can like slap you across the face of like, oh, I need to pay attention to this more. And I think that jealousy is in the same context of you can feel very secure with yourself. You can feel that you are entirely embodied within your vessel, but then all of a sudden something hits you like a ton of bricks. And I think it's something that's wonderful to be able to take note and attention to, especially when it comes to jealousy and or insecurity or anything like that. I think it's helpful to be able to take that moment to reflect instead of react and take some time for yourself.
And I think it's also an important thing you brought up. I didn't realize how much somatics has a lot to do with that. That feeling you said of feeling empty. I know that feeling of being a void on the inside where I want to implode on myself, and the security where I feel like I'm bursting. But these are physical sensations that I have, and whether or not my stomach, my heart, my body, wherever. But I've been becoming more familiar with those and realizing how much I've felt those without even realizing it. And so when you said empty stomach, I'm like, I know exactly what you mean. And I know what that feeling is. And it is a sense of lacking or longing or missing out or whatever. Whereas my side over here is that just bursting of joy.
Yeah.
And when your cup is full, you can fill others. When I was on your end of it, I can barely take care of myself, if you want to call it that. But when I get over here, now I can actually, I mean, I don't always do it. I can actually, like, I have the capacity to increase others' positive emotions because I do feel bursting. I do feel, and it's like this interesting feeling in my heart. Sorry.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's where it is for me.
No, I feel it warm in my heart and in my belly. And it's like a slow grin when I see like somebody arms like, good for you. Like, I don't know you, I will never know you, but you look like you're having a great time, bud. You keep doing that. Like, I love that. But I realize how much more like somatically I can feel that in my body and how much that affects me in positive or negative ways, depending on what it is. But just surrounding myself with, you know, the positive if I could, or at least appreciating those. really shows me how much this has been affecting me my whole life, and I never really thought about it.
I think it unconsciously affects all of us, right? Until you become aware of it. And I think that's what I'm going to have you play is awareness all along the spectrum, okay? So you kind of hit the nail on the head with what I started thinking of, which was your end, to have, feels like a full, open-hearted expression, right? Like a smiling of the heart chakra, if you will. I'm just going to come up with an example. I see my friend is in a relationship, the kind of person that she's with, oh, the partner does so much for them, always ask them how their day was. You know, maybe this person that we're talking about doesn't have a partner, right? So they're looking at their friend who has a partner.
Yeah.
They're like, I want somebody like that in my life. I want that person, right? Because oftentimes when somebody is sitting in lack, they're confusing something that they see for, that's the thing that I need to have.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting for a second, right, with awareness and saying, I really admire my friend's partner. I want to have a partner that is like that with me. What do I need to do to put myself in a position to have the thing that I want?
And again, with jealousy too, of having that compersive aspect of wanting that, desiring that, but also knowing that there's different relationships, there's different bonds, there's different work, really, you know, no one has the same experience. Not one person has the same experience. And so it's so important to be able to give room for jealousy, because it's a human natural emotion, but then also for compersion and understanding that, man, I could be so happy for you that you got that promotion, or that you're in this relationship, that you had a baby, you know, like all of these wonderful things that we could want ourselves, but still be really happy for the other person and choose the happiness versus, like, because again, it's simultaneous. You can feel jealousy and compersion at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be awareness. So
that's okay, you are being aware. So if I'm feeling jealous, it means I would say I'm probably anywhere on this part of the spectrum, right?
Yes.
Does that track? Yeah.
Because this is the lower scale, and by lower I mean like lower vibration scale.
You don't feel as good when you feel jealous
Yeah.
than when you feel compersion, which we're about to touch on next. So in this example, let's call Sally and Sarah Sam. Okay. Sally is in lack. Sam is the boyfriend. So Sam, he's just the example,
He's
right?
a winner.
He's not here.
Yeah.
He's just dating Sarah.
I apologize.
Okay. You're gonna play Sally.
Okay.
Okay. You are not Alex. You are Sally. Okay. You are not compersive.
It's hard, but I will do it.
Right now, you see Sarah, and her boyfriend is picking her up from your lunch date, and he's like, oh, let me pay for lunch, like, don't worry about it. And then, do you want your nails done today? Let me go take you to go get your nails done. Say goodbye to your friend. I'm gonna take you to go do fun things.
Yeah.
Okay, you're Sally, and you're not compersive.
Yeah.
Where are you on the spectrum?
You know I'm gonna be over here.
Right. Yeah.
It's so funny that you ask her that. She's like the most compersive person.
I know.
I've
That's
ever
why I was like, you're
I was
not
like,
Alex.
she doesn't. It's like breathing water for her.
That's why I was like, if you are Sally, where are you on the spectrum?
And Sallys are okay. We love
Yes,
the Sallys.
we love
Sallys
Sally.
are human.
Especially you,
Sally is really in all of us.
Yeah.
She's really in all of us.
Yes.
We've all seen
Yes.
somebody in our life that we're like, wow, that thing would be so nice for me to have.
Yeah.
Right?
I would love to have that.
So then behaviors over here that Sally might experience, right? Being snide to her friend, right? You don't need to pay for me. Don't worry about it. Right? Now I'm showing uncomfort or discomfort, right? Towards my friend, because I might feel like she's shoving her relationship in my face. When it's really like they're just existing. They're literally just existing.
And being nice.
And being nice. So, and the same thing with Sarah, right? Sarah might recognize that her friend is jealous. And then she might say, you're just jealous that, you know, you don't have somebody who's taking care of you.
Okay, first of all, if I'm playing Sarah on the compersive side, I don't sound like that.
You're not.
And what I would say is that, is that I would not be like, oh, you're just jealous. That's on the same end as Sally.
Yeah, that's
Sarah,
what I'm
yeah,
but you're not Sarah.
No, yeah.
Wait,
Sarah.
wait. This is just the spectrum.
Yeah.
Where does Sarah lie on this? We haven't said. If
Well,
Sally
I was just holding the end,
yes.
so I assume
right
that
now
I
you're
was over
just
here. Okay,
you
okay.
just
Yeah.
represent
Sorry,
having.
sorry.
I represent not having something.
Thank you.
So in this story, you're Sally and you're watching your friend getting picked up
Yes.
from your lunch date. The boyfriend is like, I'm not going to talk to you because I think that's what I confused you with last time.
Don't look in my eyes.
All right, this time I want you to be compersive. Okay, so you were on that side of the spectrum. Move your little fingers over there. Okay. So through compersive eyes, the boyfriend comes up. He's picking up your friend, Sally. I'm so happy you both had a good lunch together. I know like Sarah has really been needing that time with you. I'm gonna take care of the bill. I'm gonna go take care of that. Sarah, do you wanna get your nails done today? I would love to like treat you to like feel like a princess, my little princess. I'm gonna go take care of the bill. Enjoy the end of your lunch.
Girl, I'm so happy that you're getting your nails done, that you're being taken care of, that you feel nourished and fed. I love feeling happy for other people because it is important in order to feel happiness for other when you can.
She's doing that,
was
like
cute.
it's a
I'm
thing,
sorry.
but
I
no.
I was like,
If you knew her,
Yeah,
that's
exactly
how her
what she would
energy
reply.
is all the time. And I know she was exaggerating it just because she loves stroking wires, but the point is
Stroking anything.
Yeah, is that is how she is.
thank you for, if I can say, like, genuinely, sometimes I feel judged for being so happy. And by that, it's like, no person is happy all the time. No person is compersive all of the time. But I really do love people, and like I love being excited for people. And so sometimes I have to think about, should I be less excited? And that is entirely inaccurate. No one should be less excited for anyone.
And I think all religions, as much as they fight, and all philosophies, is all about being a good person to other people. And I don't know why so many people forgot that, who keep saying that that's what they mean. Being happy for somebody else, being happy in general, is exactly what we want to do with compersion, and what we want to do by talking about jealousy, is that it's okay to feel these things, but one should be happy. And you were kind of mentioning it too, compersion is not a state of mind that constantly happens. It's a momentary emotional spike that happens when it's meant to, just like jealousy, just like, joy, anything. You don't walk around feeling the most joyous day of your life every day. No. Nor do you feel, we can have periods of being sad, but these are all spikes of emotion. I think that just understanding these things the way we're talking about it gets you more ready to deal with it when it does happen, because they're never going to not happen. It's how we deal with them that I think is the most important thing. I know for me personally, a lot of the most negative aspects or events in my life had led to the most positive personal growth, and becoming aware of who I am that I would never able to have if I didn't have those life-ending, threatening events. That's how we all do our own thing. But I feel like these are just important ways to view the world and not just make ourselves more positive, but the world around us more positive.
Shifting your own perspective allows you to get more access to happiness and joy. And I think that's really what compersion does. So I want to kind of get us into making a definition for compersion, and then we're going to close up this portion of the video. As we get into this next segment, I want to also say that I really valued the way that you talked directly to your friend, Sarah, in that example, as Sally, to let her know that you're happy that she has somebody who's taking care of her. So that leads us into compersion. Let's talk about our definitions. I know you both have done more research on this topic, and I am kind of just like experiencing the research through you and experiencing my own observations and reflections. So I'm gonna have you guys, you two, beautiful souls, lovebirds, give me your definitions first.
Compersion, it's the wholehearted joy through someone else's happiness, is what a lot of people say. Sometimes that can be romantic partnerships, but one of the reasons why we're here on this earth, but also to be able to speak about this in such a context, is through non-romantic partnerships, to be able to feel joy through any experience visually, so empathetic joy, vicarious joy, having joy through someone else's experience, whether it's directly related to you or not.
Well, I mean, very similar. To me, it's the wholehearted happiness for someone else's positive emotions, whether or not it directly or indirectly affects you. It's really just that feeling of being happy for somebody else. The term did start with consensual non-monogamy, where was being happy for your sexual partner getting sexual pleasure from others. But like Alex was just saying, to me that's like almost the smallest part of it. It's everything. It's like when you see a dog running in a pack with his tongue lolling out, you can't help but smile. When you see a kid pumping his fist up in the air when he gets an ice cream cone, you can't help but smile. When you see two old people holding hands in a park, you can't help but smile. And to me, all of those, that's compersion. We experience it every day, but this term has given me a lens in which to focus my positive energy, and that's why I'm so excited to talk about it. Because again, we all know this feeling, but even someone with the master's in communication didn't know about it until she told me about it. Once I learned about it, I'm like, this is beautiful, this is amazing, this is what I feel. To be honest, we need more of it in this world.
Thank you for both of your definitions. I put that compersion is the wholehearted expression of joy upon witnessing the happiness of others, even without direct involvement. So very similar. To me, key phrases for compersion: wholehearted expression of joy, happiness of others, whether you're experiencing it vicariously or whether you're witnessing it, like you said, the child who maybe their eyes like light up when they see this big ice cream, right? And they take their first big bite, right?
Yeah.
So my friend might have just finished a book that she's been trying to make it through for like months or maybe like a full year, and she just finishes it and she's like, I have to tell you about this book I just read. It was so amazing. I don't even need to have read the book, right? I can experience the joy of the story through my friend's telling, and then without direct involvement as well. So the thing doesn't need to affect you personally, like with reading the book, or I'm not going to taste that kid's ice cream, but I'm experiencing joy vicariously through witnessing or experiencing their joy.
Well, like Alex was saying, the empathetic, but I also like think of somatic joy, where you're just feeling that in your body. It's like that feeling when you see something super cool like that and your heart starts to warm up a little bit and you just get this little smirk on your face that you can't help. You laugh, but that's, to me, compersion. Like, it
No,
just
I enjoyed your
happens.
smirk.
I mean, because no one's putting it on your face. You're not doing it for anybody else. Somebody might notice, but they probably don't. It's for
Yeah.
you, and that's what I mean by compersion. And whether or not it affects you or not, it's just that feeling you get inside your own body and that joy you have for other people, even though I don't know that fucking kid. I don't know those dogs. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't know those people, but that doesn't mean I don't feel happy for them in that moment. That's like the essence of what compersion is. I can feel it differently for loved ones or others, but that's why I say that romantic aspect is such a small part of it. It's everything else, every other relationship, platonic, familial, professional, it doesn't matter. You can have compersion in all of those, and you have way more of those relationships than you do romantic.
So it's good to practice compersion with those non-romantic relationships, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And being able to have the examples that are non-romantic examples of compersion, of puppies running around at the dog park and you just see them having a great time, or the kid eating an ice cream cone. Are you jealous over the ice cream cone? No.
Or
You're
the
not
kid for having
jealous.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not jealous of like, oh, I wish I
Hey
had
kid,
an ice
give me
cream
that cone.
Or, oh, I really wish I was running around with those dogs. No, it's a feeling of joy that's really simplistic in its entirety. And I think that is the basis of what compersion is.
Well, we're going to talk about what we're going to do next time that we are together. So I don't know exactly when the videos are going to be put out, but the next video you see me with them on this channel. We're going to be going more into the non-romantic examples of compersion and the different kinds of compersion. Really quick thing that I want to say is recently I was around somebody that I have so much love for, and we have had like erotic feelings around each other. And I was experiencing him with his partner, and it was like really nice to feel so much compersion because I was witnessing him get so much joy and pleasure from his wife's like erotic playings with him. I don't want to give too many details to protect other people's privacy, but it showed me some of the beauty that can come from compersion. So I'm really excited to get into those next videos.
I couldn't tell you the top or the 3 levels, but you can tell me about your example of erotic. Okay, that's fine. It's your show.
Yes.
It's your show. You'll do what you want.
It's a sneak peek.
Yeah,
for next
just
week.
planting the seeds.
A little seed. So thank you so much for joining on this episode of We Are Not the Experts.
We are not the experts.
We're not the experts.
We are not the experts.
Only lived experience.
Yes. So we're hoping that you will join us next time to learn more together and co-create meaning so that we can have better relationships and more satisfying intimacy in our world. Thank you. All right. For those of you who don't know, I also host another segment called Euphoria and Ecstasy, where I get high with some friends and we talk about a kinky topic. So I'm going to have you guys pick a topic that we're going to talk about on that segment.
With my nails, this is the greatest.
So you can find that Euphoria and Ecstasy video. Parts of it will be here on the YouTube channel, and the other parts will be on my Patreon, where you can support all of the work I do with as low as a $5 donation per month. Whoa. Literally earlier, this is the one that it picked, the universe, and I put it back in because I was like, I want them to pick on camera, and this is the same one. Do you want to say the topic?
Domestic and discipline.
Domestic discipline.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the video about compersion and jealousy yet, please go watch that. Don't go to any other video. Go to that one. And then if you want to see us talk about domestic discipline, which is an area of DDLG, you can find that over on my Patreon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.